Hello, my name is Joel Grimes with the Small Welder Product Group based in Clayton, North Carolina. And we're here today with our M-Series small wheel loaders. And we're going to share some best practices with you when you're working in extreme cold climate environments to keep both you and the machine safe. Now let's start with keeping you, the operator, safe as you operate these M-Series small wheel loaders. Now we'd recommend that you walk around the machine before you start it to clean any debris that may be building up, snow or ice, on the machine in various areas, including the ladder area. Take the time to shake free any snow or ice that might be building up here for getting in and out safely. We'd also recommend that you take the time to make sure that the lights, both the working, the auxiliary on the front top of the cab, as well as rear and rear radiator lights, are cleared so that oncoming traffic pedestrians can see you coming. In addition, we'd recommend that you defog both the cab and the mirrors before you ever start your job. And if you get the rear object detection as an option, please make sure that those radar systems are clean of ice and snow so they're working properly. Now, it's just as important to make sure that the machine is safe and ready to start so it gets you home safe and sound every day. Now, we recommend that you do your daily service walkarounds just as you always have, independent of temperature. Check your fluids, make sure things are properly greased, make sure that the dust bowl is clear and clean from any snow or buildup of debris that might be there. It's also important that we get a safe start of this machine when it's working in cold climates, and that we let things warm up properly so we get predictable performance out of this machine. Let's go on up and have a look at some of those details. Now, if you're working in extreme cold climates, we'd certainly recommend that you configure your machines with the cold start option, which will consist of glow plugs as well as a smart ether feature. Now, there are some electronics in this machine which connect with the glow plug and ether logic. So at startup, we encourage you to key the machine to the run position. You're going to want to wait at least 30 seconds to let all of that logic start to plug in and let those glow plugs warm. You're actually going to see an indication here on the front primary display. The glow plug light will come on to let you know that we're warming that engine before we start to fire. You need to wait until that glow plug light goes out before you fully crank this machine. Once you've waited the appropriate time, the glow plug light goes out, you can go ahead and reach over and continue to hold that over until you get good RPM so that you get a safe start, and it will run up to a full 800 RPM. Now, if you're starting the machine and it's at or below freezing, when it's above freezing, 0 degrees C, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, we recommend that you let this machine warm up at least 15 minutes before you put it to work. Now, if it's well below freezing, below 0 degrees C or 32 degrees F, we recommend that you warm this machine up for about 30 minutes so that you get predictable hydraulic performance before you put it to work. Now, if it's extremely cold, you may have to run it a little bit longer before you get that sluggish oil cycled to the point where it's warm enough so that you get that predictable response. Now, as a friendly reminder, through the secondary display, you can navigate down and get to your machine vitals so that you can see what your engine temperature is, what your hydraulic temperature is, what all those vital fluid level temperatures are, so that you know it's safe to go ahead and put it to work. Now, if you find that you need to cycle hydraulics to get them warm enough to get that good performance, what we recommend is that you do it in slow increments. So to start, you might raise it a few inches and then lower it a few inches, and then raise it a few more inches and lower it a few more inches, and slowly sneak up on a full implement cycle so that you can warm that oil kind of in stages and we don't push a big slug of very cold, very viscous oil through the system. The key here is small motions as you work up towards a fully warmed up hydraulic machine. Now, to help you with defrosting the mirrors, the windows, and the M-Series small wheel loaders, there's a few features we'd like to point out. In the deluxe cab versions, we're going to offer heated mirrors, which are engaged through this toggle switch, which also heats the rear glass grid. Now, to get all of the cabin environment fully defrosted, I'd recommend that you actually put the machine into the air conditioning mode which is going to pull the moisture air through a dryer bottle and pull some of that moisture out. But go ahead and turn your mixer dial up to a hotter temperature and turn your blower fan on somewhere near full. And that's going to do a quicker job of pulling any moisture that might be in this cab out so that you can safely go to work and you can see what you're doing. Now, a few key features I'd like to point out if you're working in a slippery underfoot condition would be on-the-go diff lock, which is engaged on a trigger on the implement handle, and that will lock up the front two tires and split equal torque so that you don't have one tire slipping. When you pull this trigger, you will get an icon on the front primary display to let you know it's locked up. Now, when it comes to managing wheel torque in a slippery underfoot condition, our Intelligent High Stat Drive offers a few features as well, starting with rim pull control. You can do a simple 2-second push and hold on our rim pull control setting, and we'd recommend that you dial the wheel torque down to a lower setting, one known as ICE. And what that does is it reduces the wheel torque such that you don't spin your tires on a slippery underfoot. It does not reduce your overall ground speed or your run out speed. It's tuned to help you maximize your total control. In addition, we can set the high stat characteristic to be more friendly to snow and ice environments with an ice mode setting. And the way you get to that, through your secondary display, into information, navigate to machine, into settings, and it's our very first powertrain modes. And when we choose our powertrain modes, we invite you to dial down to ice mode. And what that's going to do is it's going to soften your directional shifts so that you don't break your tires free. It's also going to allow this machine to roll out a little bit longer, more friendly, so that you don't get into a dynamic braking or stopping type situation. All of these features are designed to maximize your control so that you're safe on the job site. Now, the M-Series small wheelers do feature a Tier 4 final Stage 4 emission compliant engine. As part of that emission compliance, they will burn some diesel exhaust fluid, AdBlue, also known as urea. Now, that fluid actually freezes at negative 11 degrees C, 12 degrees Fahrenheit. So you do need to manage that fluid as far as fill-ups. But as far as the machine goes, it's completely transparent to you, the operator. So on a cold start morning, once the M-Series is started, it's going to engage a logic where it actually heats that fluid so that it thaws, and then you're fully emission compliant inside of what's government regulated. Now, on shutdown, there are a few more things to manage, so let's take a look at that together. Once you key the machine off and you close up the operator environment for the day, let's go have a look at the master disconnect to fully isolate the machine at the end of the day. Now, once you turn the machine off, it's going to automatically employ a DEF purge or diesel exhaust fluid purge strategy, which is going to pull all of that fluid back out of the engine and put it into a reservoir so that you don't have that fluid which can freeze in your engine block. Now, best practice is to key a machine off as well as isolate it electrically here at the master disconnect. Now, what I'd like to call your attention to is the amber light. What the amber light is telling you is that the machine is employing that diesel exhaust fluid, that DEF purge out of the system. That is going to run for approximately 80 seconds. Best practice, wait to kill the master disconnect until that amber light goes out. Now, I will tell you, on the M-Series portfolio of small wheel loaders, we've designed in a keep alive system, which will allow you to key the master disconnect off, but guarantee a DEF purge. Again, we encourage you to wait until the amber light goes out as a best practice, but we have protected you if you do make that choice and kill that master disconnect before the purge has completed. Now, once the light goes out, that's telling you that you have a complete electrical isolation so that the machine can sit overnight for the next day's work. Now, we hope that you found these operator tips for cold starts and stops useful. But if you've got questions, please get with your Caterpillar dealer or have a look in the owner's and operator's manual, which you'll find in the back seat pouch of every M-Series small wheel loader. We also encourage you to go out to YouTube and subscribe to CAT Construction Trades, both YouTube and Facebook pages. You'll find a deep dive overview video out there to learn more about the M-Series small wheel loaders. Now let's go to work.